Now, going into this movie, these weren't really any of my top favorite MCU characters. You know, I like them and all, but they're not like top favorites of mine. But the way they were able to have them in this movie, have them team up, and actually make you care more for these characters was really something. Definitely one of the standouts for me was Red Guardian. He is definitely more of the comedic beat throughout this movie. He had a lot of funny scenes and a lot of banter going on with the rest of the team. Yelena is definitely another standout to where she's a semi-pseudo leader, sort of taking over the leadership role. She's more of the emotional core for this movie when it comes to this team, where you get more emotional scenes with her. She's over there just putting herself out there, telling her feelings. So you get a lot of those emotional scenes with her character. And you see how she's overcoming this emotional trauma that she kind of has, where she's dealing with loss and loneliness. And one of the characters I was actually looking forward to seeing in this movie was Sentry. And I gotta say, I really like what they were able to do with the character of Sentry in this movie. It's where they're basically introducing the character to us for the first time in this movie and into the MCU, to where his name is just Bob, and it's just kind of funny with him. Like when you first meet him or first see him in the movie, he's just this normal dude, it seems like. But you know, once he gets into his whole Sentry character, once you get into that whole other side of him, the Void, you really see how it comes together, how he's sort of complex in a way. So Sentry was one of those characters I was really looking forward to seeing in the MCU. So I really like what they're able to do with this character, and I'm definitely excited to see what they do to him in the future. But before this movie actually happened, I was really wondering how they were going to like translate this character into movie live action form. You know, dealing with the character from the comics, to where he has a very checkered past, dealing with drug addiction and all that. I was wondering how they're going to like, you know, transfer that to a movie in a live action setting. And they don't really show him in that whole drug addiction phase going on. They just, you know, mention it. He drops a little hints and nods here and there, and you know, they don't really fully go into it. But you kind of get, I wouldn't say as many emotional beats with him as you do with Elena, but you get a couple of things here and there, as especially when it comes to you know, dealing with the third act battle.